15 Most Amazing Barn Finds. A lot of abandoned cars. Shed finds of barn find from the English barn find are the dream of all car collectors. Agree that finding a brand new car that has stood for many years in some old building is like looking for a treasure trove of jewelry. Today you will see 15 very sad pictures of supercars that have stood for many years in forgotten state. 1. Ferrari Daytona. Daytona is the only Ferrari model with an aluminum body. It was one of the fastest cars in the world, produced only 1,400 copies. Specifically, this copy was found in an abandoned shed in Japan. It had stood there for over 40 years. This model is a collectible value, so it must have been sold for a fortune after restoration. 2. Lamborghini Miura. Popular car photography Jeremy Clive is credited with taking an amazing photo of this incredible shed find. The photo shows the famous Lamborghini Miura P400S 1967. This model was produced from 1968 to 1971. Totally 338 copies were made. 3. The Lamborghini Countach. Lamborghini produced Countach from 1974 to 1990s. The supercar became a legend and a dream of many car fans. Countach was the very first supercar to try on the Italian wedge design style. Specifically, this Countach was found parked among other exotic cars in Texas garage. 4. Lamborghini Countach. The Texas collection, which was mentioned above, included 3 Lamborghini Countach supercars. This one stood among other exotic retro cars, and its body was painted black. Whoever owned this garage must have been incredibly rich, but the real jackpot was won by whoever bought himself this old warehouse. 5. Jaguar 3.8 E-Type. A rich man bought and gave this Jaguar 3.8 E-Type to his wife in 1970, but practically nobody drove it as its last that day back to 1973-1974, and the mileage does exceed 80,000 kilometers. After the owner died, it was discovered by collectors and restored. 6. 1966 Shelby Cobra 427. Recently, an abandoned garage was found in North California with several exotic cars parked and forgotten in it. The most valuable among them is the Shelby Cobra, which has been idle for over 26 years. This Cobra 427 with its red body and black interior traveled only 30,000 kilometers. 7. Ferrari Testarossa. A whole series of exotic cars which had stood for many years in the open air was photographed in one of the rich estates in Dubai. Unfortunately, these cars were left here to rot as the hot sun and dust storm typical of Dubai affect the cars very negatively. 8. Lamborghini Diablo. For 11 years of production, Lamborghini has produced only 2,884 supercars Diablo. Diablo is a collector's dream as it has a high resale value of maintained in good working order. However, it hardly concerns this copy which was left right in the pasture next to God's. 9. Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing. The Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing has been in isolation for almost 50 years in some underground storage facility. Mercedes-Benz made only 1,400 copies of the 300 SL between 1954 and 1957. Its cult status has been constantly rising since then. This copy has chassis number 43. After the discovery of the coupe was restored by Mercedes-Benz classic specialists and show at Elmelle Island Concours d'Elegance in Florida in 2019. 10. Lamborghini Miura P400. This is the second Miura in this selection. This is not surprising, as the rarity and value of a supercar among car collectors mean that they are ready to follow it anywhere in the world to get it out of an abandoned garage. This copy was found in Germany after its second owner died in 2015. In this condition, the supercar was auctioned off to RM Sotheby's for $1.6 million. 11. Ferrari F50. Ferrari has only built 349 F50 supercars. Most of them settled in private collections, but this copy was unlucky. It was abandoned in a dump in Nigeria, Africa. Given the rarity of the model, most likely one day it will be bought to Europe or the United States, where some lucky collectors will restore it to perfect condition. 12. Lamborghini Aventador. Due to speeding the Lamborghini Aventador, driver lost control and pulled over, tied up in the gravel. The owner probably had a lot of other exotic cars in his garage and decided to just drop the expensive supercar. 13. Nissan GT-R. At the Tokyo Motor Show in 2007, Nissan showed supercar GT-R, which was faster than the Porsche 911 Turbo. Nürburgring Nordschleife pursued with a lap time of 7 and 38 minutes. Unfortunately, economic problems in Greece in 1213 have forced the owner of the GT-R to abandon it in a deplorable state. 14. Lamborghini Countach. The story of finding this Countach is quite curious. He and another supercar was found by a young girl in her grandmother's garage. They stayed there for about 15 years. Both cars were purchased for rental, but in 1989 the financial situation forced the company to close down. Most of the cars were sold except those two supercars. 15. Ferrari Dino 246. This green Ferrari Dino 246 of 1974 is one of the most unusual car finds ever. Its owner Rosendo Cruz buried it in the ground almost immediately after buying this Ferrari in 1974 and reported that it was stolen. He received full compensation from his insurance company. But the car was discovered 4 years later by some guys playing in the garden.